I'm back with another video about my weight loss and injuries and so forth. Now, I know I've mentioned before that I would go into a lot of the complications I've been having, and yes, there have been a lot of complications. If you remember a few videos back, or maybe even the last weight loss video that I made, I think it was 3 weeks ago, I think, going on 3 weeks, like 2.5 or something like that. But anywho, in that video I mentioned that I was kind of struggling with a few injuries and setbacks. One of the injuries being shin splints, the other one being a major sinus infection that came out of nowhere, and the third one being an ovary condition. Now, as far as the ovary condition is concerned, I actually thought that it was something kind of, not that big of a deal when I went to the doctor for it. I didn't really know what it would be. But it turns out that after going to the doctor, I found out that I have Polycystic Ovary syndrome, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's PCOS, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is. Basically, well, first let me tell you why I went to the doctor, why I thought something was wrong. Basically, the past few years, I've been knowing that something just kind of wasn't right, and now that I'm looking into the medical condition, reading up what happens and all the symptoms and blah blah blah, I'm actually thinking that I started having symptoms in high school. I think that's how long ago the symptoms were kind of starting to come into place or whatever. But basically, over the past, I want to say over the past 3 years, I've had some weird things going on in the ovary area. Basically, a few things that kind of made me feel like something was just not right was, cycles being off. I'm talking being gone for like several months at a time. And I was in college at the time, so I thought maybe it was stress, maybe something was going on with that. And, basically went to the doctor those few times, and they put me on birth control to basically get me back on like a set cycle and to bring my period back, and it worked. So pretty much every time that it happened, which was twice over the past, well, twice ever, but that happened within the past probably 3 years. It's happened twice, and each time they put me on the birth control pill, and that basically brought it back. Now, the last time that I had the episode happen was back in, I want to say it started from like the fall of 2010 all the way up until like March. I mean, my period was gone. I was just, everything with my body was just totally out of whack. And once again, I thought, okay, well, maybe it's stress. I don't know what the problem is. Went to the doctor, got an ultrasound, a vaginal ultrasound, and it turns out I actually had an ovarian cyst for the first time ever. There might have even been 2. I don't remember. Yeah, there were 2. They weren't very big. They weren't cancerous or anything like that. And they just gave me some medicine. And I was having, after I finally got on the birth control pill or the medicine they gave me, I started having a lot of bleeding going on. Basically, I thought I was like dying or something. It was just like that much going on. And it hurt really bad. I mean, I would just be standing up like at the store or wherever, and I would be in crippling pain and just kind of, cave in from it. And I don't know, I had a feeling something wasn't right. But they gave me the medication, everything, the uterine lining thinned out, the ovarian cyst went away, and then I thought everything was fine, up until a few weeks ago. Basically, I don't know if you remember in another video I told y'all that I was jogging maybe like 3 weeks ago or so, and right after I stopped jogging, like I literally stopped and sat down on like a park bench to kind of catch my breath, and I felt in my lower stomach or lower abs or lower abdomen. I wish I had some abs, but yeah, lower abdomen, I felt this sharp pain. It felt like what would be really horrible menstrual cramps, but on a whole different level, like so bad I just wanted to crawl up into the fetal position. And it did that for about, I don't know, I want to say 10 minutes, and I felt like a lot of pressure, and it hurt. I don't know, I've never felt that way before. A few days later I went jogging and it happened again. So at that point I was really, terrified. I decided, okay, I got to go to the doctor, got to find out what's going on. I go to my doctor. This is a different doctor from the one who diagnosed me back in March with the ovarian cyst, but this is a good doctor. Anywho, so I went to him, and basically I got an ultrasound. He didn't do it himself. They had a separate ultrasound tech, and then he just sort of reviewed, the images from the ultrasounds. Got the ultrasound. You know, he pulled me in his office, and we just kind of talked about it. But let me back and tell you. And I want everybody to know, and the reason why I'm making this video, let me just go ahead and back up and say this first. I want to let y'all know that the stuff in this video is very personal, so I feel like I've been struggling for the past few weeks on whether or not I would even make a video about this. So I want to just say, if you don't have anything nice to say or anything decent as a human to say, just don't say anything in the comment section, because I'd rather not. I feel like I know I'm putting myself out there, but I want to do this just in case there are other women who are going through with it, or women who might have some symptoms but don't know what's wrong with them, so that you can get to a doctor and maybe figure out if this is what you have or not. So, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to put this out there, and I am still nervous about it. So if you have something negative or some kind of weird, non-constructive criticism to add, please don't do it on this video. This is not the video for those comments. Anywho, basically, when I was getting the ultrasound from the ultrasound tech, the woman was looking around. She was doing the vaginal one, because you can't really see. You can't really get a good read if you do the ones from the outside, which we did that too, but you're not going to get as good of a read unless you do it the vaginal way. You get a better look. So she was doing that, and then she asked me if I'd ever had any kids, and I was like, no, I've never had any kids. And she's like, well, have you ever been trying? And I was like, no, we haven't been trying. And I was like, why? Is something wrong? And then she just told me to look at the screen, and she showed me my ovaries. And she said that that I have polycystic ovaries, and she said that's typical. A lot of times, if women have had children, you know, their ovaries will look like that. And I was like, well, I haven't had any kids, and I haven't been trying to. So, and she almost did not take a picture of it, but like she was like, oh well, and she, you know, moved on to, you know, looking at other areas of, you know, what's going on down there. And I was like, well, and she's like, well, I'll go ahead and I'll take a picture of that so the doctor can look at it for you. So she took the picture. She took a bunch of pictures of what's going on inside me. And basically after that, I went back in with the doctor, and he sat me down and explained everything, and he explained what the polycystic ovaries were and everything like that. And at that point, I had no clue exactly what they were. And even though he explained it, I didn't really understand the severity of what it was. So let me go ahead and just pause right now and tell you exactly what polycystic ovaries are, just in case you don't know. If you do know, then sorry for telling you. But anyway, polycystic ovary is basically, and I have this from WebMD, so this is the official stuff. I'm not just making this up, and I wanted to make sure I had some official documents in front of me, so I'm not getting anything wrong here. But it's a problem in which a woman's hormones are out of balance. It can cause problems with your periods, make it difficult to get pregnant. PCOS can also cause unwanted changes in the way you look, and if not treated over time, it can lead to serious health problems such as diabetes and heart disease. PCOS is common, and it affects 1 out of 15 women. Often the symptoms begin in teen years, and treatment can help control the symptoms and prevent long-term problems. Basically, your hormones are out of whack. It throws everything else in your life out of whack. You're likely to get diabetes. Actually, women who have PCOS are 40%. 40% of the women end up with diabetes. You end up with, a lot of women will end up with heart problems. You usually end up with weight issues. I mean, there's a lot of stuff this thing can do. And when I was looking over the symptoms, I just realized that a lot of these symptoms, the excess weight, hello, that's why I'm on a weight loss journey now, especially in the tummy area, which is one of the main things that gets fat when you have PCOS, is the tummy. Acne, I was noticing my skin was starting to look a little jacked up. Unwanted hair, yep, in some of the places I do have that. Thinning of the hair, no, I don't have thin hair. That's like the one thing I don't have. Irregular periods, check. Fertility issues, I'm not trying to get pregnant, so I'm not sure if I have those right now. So I don't know, but according to my ultrasound, I have a lot of little eggs that have not been able to drop down. So more than likely, I have had some fertility problems with and the eggs have not been able to, I don't want to say hatch, but come down, or whatever you want to call it. So more than likely, fertility problems, check. Depression, maybe, you know, some, not anything abnormal. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of symptoms, but I don't know, it's just crazy to think that all these were there, and these are mostly a lot of problems that I deal with, and just to think that it's caused by this one thing. But anywho, so like I was saying, the doctor explained this all to me. I didn't quite understand it at the moment, and I went home and I looked online and looked it up, and I freaked out. I panicked, you know, and I realized that it was more serious than what I thought it was when I was at his office. So basically, for about a week or maybe like 4 or 5 days, I just kind of was like freaking out, thinking it was like the end for me, blah blah blah. And then I just decided that I would go back in and meet with him again to ask him all the questions I wanted to, and just get some clarification on exactly what this syndrome is and how I can try to stay healthy, lose some weight, and basically try to make it so it does not get worse, you know. This is something that will pretty much not go away. And I'm at the beginning stages of it, so as long as I can try to do some things to sort of keep myself as healthy as possible, i.e. Via my diet, and I'm going to get into that in another video because I have to have a specific diet for this problem. Working out, have to work out, just overall healthy things in life to basically decrease my chances of getting diabetes and having more of these cysts come up in my ovaries, because that is essentially what polycystic ovaries is. It's ovaries that are filled with cysts, and basically it looks like, if I could draw a picture of it, it would be like your little ovaries, like this, with a bunch of little black holes in them. That's what it looks like, black little holes in your ovaries, and that's not normal. You're not supposed to have that. Like I said before, I am in the early stages, so I don't have a lot of them. I would say, I didn't count them, but maybe like I would say 8 to 10 on each ovary. I don't know. So yeah, after meeting with that doctor, basically I did feel a little bit better about it, but I realized that my life was going to have to change. I was going to have to revamp the things that I ate, and you know, because as it turns out, as someone with PCOS, your hormones are out of whack. Basically, you produce, I believe, a hormone called androgen more than the other hormones. So since you're producing that, it obviously affects your fertility. You are less likely to drop your eggs. You are, your insulin gets out of whack, so that's why a lot of people go into diabetes, and you can even go into gestational diabetes while pregnant. So, I mean, there's a lot of fertility conflict issues going on there as far as being able to have kids, being able to have a healthy pregnancy, and being able to avoid having diabetes while pregnant. And there's also some possibility to have like uterine cancer or something like that. There's a lot of stuff. So if you want to know more about PCOS, check the link below. I'm going to be talking, it's in the description box. And I'm going to be making more videos about this in the future. And I know this video may be kind of all over the place, but I don't know. I just wanted to make it tonight because it was just kind of on my mind, and I just wanted to get it out and share it with y'all. And I want to share my journey, and I think if I would have seen a video about PCOS, you know, years ago, then maybe I would have been clued in to what's been going on with me. So hopefully by making this video, I can, you know, share this with other people. And if you are out there, if you know someone out there with some of these symptoms, because the sooner you catch it, the better. This is not something that's going to go away. You cannot make it go away. But what you can do is if you catch it early enough, you can essentially sort of hold it off and keep it where it's at and maintain it so that it doesn't get out of control and you don't end up with, you know, diabetes, cancer, and not being able to have kids, and you know, a whole bunch of other stuff that can really just mess you up in life. So with that said, I went to another doctor. She's a lady doctor. I went to her, and she's also a gynecologist, but she also does other things as well. I'm not really sure what the terminology for that is, but she's my normal primary care and OBGYN doctor and blah, blah, blah. So I went back to her, and she kind of, she put me on a diet. But I'm going to be talking about that in another video. So if you want to see the video about that, click here. So, basically, the ways that I'm going to be working to basically try to keep myself healthy will be, number one, my diet, which if you click in this video, you'll see what I'm talking about. My doctor put me on a crazy diet, and that's kind of depressing, but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to try to stick around as long as you can on this earth. But yeah, so obviously my diet, I want to keep working out and, you know, eating right and blah, 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 and just taking the medication. The doctor told me that I am going to have to be on birth control pretty much for life. So until I'm ready to get pregnant, I'm going to have to stay on birth control, which is, I didn't want to do that. I don't like birth control. I don't like it. I just don't. I prefer to do other methods of contraception with my husband, which that's a little personal, but since we're talking about it, you know, whatever. I don't know. I just don't like birth control. I don't like the juiciness that it gives me. I don't like it. But they put me on the birth control pill, and we'll see how that goes. It's supposed to level out my hormones and help to kind of keep things in whack, or whatever, in sync, and balance me out along with the diet and, you know, whatnot. And I'm going to be going back to the doctor in a few months, and if the birth control and everything that I'm doing in addition to that isn't helping, they might put me on another medication called metformin, which is a pretty common medication with people who have PCOS. Another thing I wanted to add is that the doctor did say that since there could be fertility issues, that we will need to start having kids within, he said before I turn 30. So I just turned 27 this past week. Yay for 27. But, so yeah, we got 2 years to get to work. He said I need to be pregnant by the time I'm 29. So we'll be working on that, and hopefully when I turn 29, we'll be getting knocked up, but we'll see. Anywho, that's all I can add for this video. I'm going to go ahead and make another one about the whole diet thing. So if you want to know more about that, if you want to know about the diet, which, oh my god, y'all, so depressing, then go ahead and check out that video, and I'll see y'all. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. Like I said before, sorry about how all over the place this video is, but yeah, sorry. Thanks for watching. Bye.